Okay, so this is my final sprint of Centipede. It's going to be done over in multiple parts, and I'll let you know when I'm changing each of those. But for now, I'm going to compile this so you can see that it compiles. I'll rebuild solution. Um, so from there, real quick, I just wanted to talk about some of the things that I didn't get in the game or some of the things that I know are still wrong or have some issues. I did not get the high score in the middle of the screen or changing the alphabetical letters for that. I was not able to get the lives up top, but at the beginning of the game I do show how many lives the player should have. They always start with 3, so they at least know that. I also, for some weird bug, it does not play the centipede sound during the first wave, but the second wave on, it does. I was having issues when the player dies staying on the current wave. For whatever issue, it was just giving me problems. So as it is right now, you can still do a full game. Just what happens when you die is that it starts the next wave because all the heads would be gone. Those would be the things that I weren't able to get in or kind of just have there in a working sense, but like they don't work correctly how the actual game would want it to work. Along with that, I have two things that I know don't work. The whole thing when I close the game, it still does that. It gives me that iterator error. And the second thing is that even though the player dies in attractor mode, it goes to the next wave based on how the code is set up. But because of that, somehow it sets the player to gain control of the ship instead of setting it back to attractor mode. And then if you try to hit 1, the game would technically crash then. But based on all of that, everything else is there. For a couple of minutes, I'm going to play through the game a couple of times, show you that, and then from there, I will stop the game, come back, and talk about all the code just in order from the files that I've created so you can see what I've done. Oh, and the other thing that is weird is that the sound does not stop between going from the player to attractor mode. So when it starts off quiet, but then it goes loud, the loud strat, and when it goes back to attractor mode and to be quiet again, it doesn't do that. And that was just a bug, so the sound will still be playing in between actual game modes. So right now I'm going to be quiet and just throw on the local debugger and play through the game a couple of times. And if it seems like the player isn't moving in attractor mode, that's just because they're stuck up against the mushroom. And once I play the game and clear it out and it goes back to attractor mode, I will show you that it does bounce around between the play area. So this is my game of Centipede. So as you can see real quick, because this is attractor mode and it's quiet, I can shoot, everything's quiet. Things go away because it's being updated, but I can hit 1, the score changes back to 0, and then you have access to the player mode. So as soon as this starts, I'm going to stop talking so that you can see everything that is going on. And here we go. So right now I'll start talking about some of the code that I have. I was just trying to think of where to begin. Some of the things, some of the things that I did not mention that I'm still having issues with was that the centipede separating didn't quite go according as planned. Some of the segments get a spacer so big between them, and the same thing with the bottom of the screen. That was something that was never fixed, or I couldn't fix. Was that it takes the last 3 or 4 rows and acts as if they're just like poison, I believe, and it just goes straight down, and then it goes back up, and then goes a normal course to the top of the play area, and then back down again. Um, and that sound bug, it's because a bug was being killed. That should happen with all of the critters, but it happens when you die, and then you die, and then if there's one that would have been on screen, it's not getting, because it's checking if the number is greater than, so then it's just basically saying like, oh, there also it's there, and that was happening. Um, in a little bit, I'm going to play the game again to show you that you can cycle through the game uh, after you die, just to show that you can keep going and playing. But right now I'm going to go through all of my files, starting with the factories and then through all of my game files. Starting with the bullet factory. It is set up as a factory and a singleton with a couple of functions here. The shoot is being set to here in the public or private, and then it's just doing the classic functions for creating and recycling, and it's just checking whether or not shoot is true, and if shoot is true, then it knows to shoot that bullet, and it also is playing the sound when that happens, so the sound only plays once while that bullet is alive, and it is just recycling in the normal way. Onto the centipede body factory, same thing, it is a factory singleton, and here it's just creating and recycling bodies, and then I have a list of bodies in the game for when I'm doing just keeping track of the bodies. It basically it lets me kill all the bodies that would be on screen for when I die and when I'm going to the first from attractor to player. Inside the CPP, I have, let's see, just it's setting up a new centipede body. Whether or not it's shooting, it's just letting me know that I've created new centipede bodies. It's doing the management. This was most of the stuff you've given us, just changing it to fit the context. Initializing, and then returning a new body. Same thing with the recycling. Kill all bodies, like I said, does the list and kills all the bodies in the game, and then it clears the list so that it's clean to add to for the next time. So that is being managed. The head factory, same thing, factory singleton. This just checks if there's active heads, so I can test whether or not I can go to the next wave. If there's no active heads, I can basically go to the next wave that is used in like the spawn manager and the wave manager. And I have a similar function here for killing all heads, just so it knows to kill the head that's on the screen. And in the CPP, same thing as before, just it's creating and recycling heads. Other than that, that's about it. Just getting the head, and the other thing are the things inside here. Flea factory is the same as the rest. Factory singleton is setting up all the stuff it needs to set the active fleas, how many, so I know how many are alive in the game, so it knows to play noise, which is where the issue is having, because it's set to if it's greater than 1, and apparently 1 wasn't being minus somewhere. And that would happen in each of the 3 critters, but it also kills all the flies upon the start of the game. The same thing, just creating and recycling the flea. From here is the same thing, killing all. Mushroom factory. Factory singleton creates and recycles mushrooms, and I keep a list of the mushrooms, so I can do the mushroom wipe upon when you die. That died in the game, and I'm sure you saw that happening. And inside the CPP, same thing, recycling, creating mushrooms, and then going through here so it can repair and reset the mushroom to the values that it needs to be. The scorpion will be the same as the what's it called, the other critter, just creating, recycling, and then maintaining it when I switch modes. That's just the same of what's all going on here. Go through this slowly. Here we have Spider, which is the same thing once again as the other critters, just creating, deleting, and maintaining it in the header. It's also, these are all factory singletons. And I also have it creating and recycling here and doing the maintain for this. So that's going to end this video. This will be part 1, and then I'll come back with part 2 inside the game, and I'll show you how you can keep going between waves or the game. So the other one, you can, it showed you going, like killing, going through all the waves, and the waves keep going. So in the next video, I'll show you how you can die. It goes back to attractor mode, and then from there it will keep, you can go back into player mode. And from there, I will talk about the rest of my general files on the game, so everything that's in the game components or most of the things. But that's enough of part 1.